Now let's talk to Cape Town Mayor Geordin Hill-Lewis about relief measures after the flooding we saw in the Western Cape. Mayor, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. Good to have you with us. Before we talk about any sort of mop-up operation, just talk to us about which areas were affected the most. I would assume that your informal settlements would have been hit hard.
Absolutely right. Informal settlements, particularly Langa and parts of Khayelitsha, have been hit particularly hard, but also some areas, some formal areas, Bonteheuwel, around Kales River, in Gordons Bay. There has been an enormous amount of rain that has fallen in the last 24 hours. In fact, more than our entire normal average for the whole month of June has fallen just in the last 24 hours. So it's been quite a deluge.
So a couple of days ago or so, the weather authorities did warn that there was going to be excessive rain, there was going to be excessive cold and so forth. What measures did you put in place, if any, maybe to before we started experiencing these issues with the rain?
We put quite extensive measures in place. The teams were out doing what we call proactive jetting, which is when they go and they jet clean stormwater drain pipes to clean out any rubbish that is blocking those drain pipes so that the water can flow freely. They go and they clean reeds and weeds from all of the stormwater canals and riverbeds so that the water can flow freely through the canals. And they also went and did some loud hailing because there are some areas where there's no stormwater infrastructure, and we know that people are living in low-lying areas that flood every year. So they did some loud hailing, warning residents about what was coming, distributing pamphlets to warn residents about what was coming. We did about 100 kilometers of proactive drain cleaning. And what's encouraging is that some of the areas that have been most prone to flooding in previous years have not flooded, which means that cleaning did work. But it also shows that we've still got a lot of work to do in some other areas where now the flooding has basically moved to.
All right, so you're now able to see what sort of damage to infrastructure has occurred. What can you tell us?
Look, so far the city's response teams have been exceptional, and I really thank them. We have 110 teams out on the road right now, unblocking drains, trying to address all of these areas of localized flooding. So far, we have reported no loss of life. Fortunately, no serious injuries or damages. There's lots of homes that have been flooded, but nothing too damaging. And of course, there are still lots of roads that are blocked, but our intervention teams are prioritizing people's homes first, and then they will get to all of the roads. So we do ask people to be patient.
Okay, any alternative accommodation to house those that may have been severely affected? You spoke about the low-lying areas, and when you mentioned informal settlements, easy for them to lose their belongings and even their dwellings.
We haven't had any dwellings destroyed so far. That's not to say it can't happen. We've still got 2 days of rain to come. So that's why we're saying people must report life-threatening situations or damage to property immediately. The city does have teams working 24/7 around the clock available to respond immediately, and they will prioritize any dangerous situations or damage to property first before they deal with blocked roads. But so far so good. But we have also made about 550 beds available at local shelters and city-safe spaces, additional beds that is, for people who are affected. I suspect that there will be many more people affected than just that by the flooding, and so we also ask people to arrange alternative accommodation with family members or to move to higher ground, and if necessary, disaster risk management teams can make alternative arrangements on the ground when they are responding to those situations in real time.
All right. Mayor, thank you so much for speaking with us there. Cape Town Mayor Geordin Hill-Lewis talking to us about recovery efforts to a large extent, but still expecting a lot more rain, and it is extremely cold down there.